Hello. Yeah, I think I'm live. Am I in focus? Yeah, I'm talking to the mic, and I think I'm in focus. And I've got some 15mm models which I'm showing off tonight, which are from a company called Core in the UK. And I've got some details that I'm going to talk through and zoom in. So I'm not going to waste a lot of time talking up here. I'm a bit tired. It's quite late. It's Wednesday. It's only halfway through the week. And yeah, I want to talk through these models and let you have a look at them a bit closer. Here we go. So I'm switching over. Nearly. Aha. Right, hopefully you can still hear me. I am still talking into the mic and I have the vehicles and things in front of me. So I will zoom into them a wee bit in a moment. But I will first of all just talk about the company and the models. So they're 15mm SCIFI, and Core themselves, Core Aeronautics, also do a range of other models for 6mm and 20mm in the sort of fashion of the whole. Well, here they are actually. Here's some of the 20mm models for the kind of dark future style Gaslands, Car Wars type games. So yeah, they've got sort of a range of versatile models that they do that are all worth a look. And I know Mark Wallace, he's the owner and he's been a long time gamer, sort of 30 years. So I totally thrashed that at 37 years. So, I mean, he's practically new to the hobby. But other than him being fresh to the hobby, he's done a lot of work. He's worked in the past at Games Workshop and then Mantic, and he ran their UK trade sales there too. So he's done a lot of work in the industry. And now he's sort of started Core as his own hobby project and business. So, you know, the original initial stuff that's come out is a lot of this sort of 15mm. So we've got trucks, we've got sort of vehicles for the which I mentioned, which are the ones for the Gaslands type games, which is a big thing at the moment, which is 20mm scale, by the way. That was Matchbox Hot Wheels cars. And then he rescales a lot of the same sort of 3D design models into whatever is appropriate. So he's also doing the 6mm too. And I know a big project that he's got upcoming is a 28mm skirmish set of rules too. So a lot of interesting stuff coming on the way. I know he's resizing lots of things for the 6mm scale, and I'm a particular fan of 6mm because I was a BattleTech player for a long time, and I do like the scale. So I will show you just quickly also, if I can get it on the screen, the Core website with some of the details on there. So yes, so I did buy these models off Mark, but I've had a couple of samples like these ones here as well to have a look at and sort of to review. But of course what I'm focusing on, because I'm interested mostly in the 15mm on the Core website, is this 15mm scale stuff. And you can see this is where I bought the military vehicles from. So there's a sort of a urban military 4x4. And then this Hog military multi-role transport as well, which is a great model. And then the big Goliath land train, and obviously with that you could do anything on the back of that, put other vehicles, tanks or what have you, and you can see it's pretty flexible. In fact, you could probably use either both trailers at once or just one trailer on the back too, or you can make it a big lengthy one. And also you've got the sort of snowplow. I think the whole thing actually could take even more detailing if you like, so you could add a lot more onto the front of there with extra stowage and bits and pieces too. Right, so I shall now show you the models, and zooming back to the desktop view, I'll give you a look at these a bit more close in. So I'll do the old zoom in. Here we go, and then focus the thing. Can't find my button that does the focus. There it is. Oh, that is on the floor now. There's nothing like a classic Blue Peter moment. So there we go. As you can see, they've been cast with a sort of hollow innards, which is good as far as I'm concerned. You know, a good solid piece of plastic. I haven't trimmed or cleaned them up yet. You know, from a resin perspective, they're good and sharp. Very sharp detailing really on there, so very crisp. Nice proportional sized wheels too. So that's the main sort of Jeep model. And then I've got the long extended truck. Again, nice and sharp detailing. Big old chunky wheels. Just some cleanup that needs to be done on there, obviously, which you get with any resin model. And then there's the fitting for the front. So of course this this is size-wise interesting. As things get bigger and bigger in 15mm, vehicle size, so like a big truck like this, they kind of get to the point where they blur the line. So you could probably use this direct in this scale in your Gasland style games as well, given it's quite sizable, big old beast of a vehicle. Or you could go up, I know it does this in the 20mm scale as well, so you could go up to the next size as well. But to me that's quite sizable. But I will do you a comparison. And then on the back of there are the trailer sections. So you can just see underneath. I haven't glued it together yet, but you can see here there's a sort of connection for the that bottom plate to go in. I've done no cleanup, but yeah, that sort of fits quite neatly together there. Again, with any materials that you get like this, you can just put them into warm water and they will soften really well and it doesn't even need to be boiling, but just hot water, they'll soften quite quickly within about 10 seconds and then you can start to flex them to shape. So if you do get any that are slightly misshapen, it's easy to fix that issue with resin like this. Yes, again, neat finish there with that nice sort of deck style top, which will take the details and the light detailing on the back too. So that's a nice trailer section. This other trailer section, similar again in that in terms of the build, but it's the 6 wheels on there rather than the 4, and it takes the metal style plating. Again, this sort of lines up underneath like that to be glued on, and then you have this section here, which you'd probably want to either leave. You'd want to either leave that up glued in, or you could leave it just loose, couldn't you? And then have that, so something that you could clip in to look like the that rear section was up or down. Yeah, and as far as I can see, actually maybe I've got that the wrong way around. Yeah, I think I've got that wrong way around. That goes on there. I'm sure of it. That would sit like that. Then that then has clearance to sort of lay flat on the ground. So you've got that sort of articulated section. And again, you could leave that section loose and then hang that in there to put it there, or maybe pop it up or magnetize it. So looking at the whole piece built, which I shall now zoom into. There's a few bits of junk in the way down here. So main front. So if I reckon that is that way round, there must be, that must go that way, because otherwise the wheels would I should really look at the website, but I do quite like just like pretending I know what I'm doing and dropping these together like this. So does that go in there like that? No, it does feel like maybe. Take those bits away, put it like that, then goes to look at the website. So here we go. Oh, okay. So it is the 3-wheeled section first and the 3 wheels at the back. Looking at this, it's got it with the sort of lights to the front on the website for some reason. So then that would then sit in there like that. Or would it? No, it would, it would. And this must just sit like that. and then the back section on there. We are complete from one end to another. Well, the only thing I can say about it is that it is flexible, so you could probably, on the website, I noticed these tail lights were actually at the pointing forward beside the truck. That might have just been how they just put it together for the photo and not noticed what they were doing, because obviously the tail lights you'd expect to go facing rearwards. And then it's down to, I guess one of the things you could do is magnetize it so that you could just clip on the section that you wanted if you just wanted the one flatbed area, or if you wanted the ramp and the vehicle area on there. And then with the Jeep, you've got a good size location for that there. I've also happened to have other bits and pieces. So I've got a GZG tracked vehicle there, sort of short-range missile launcher. And that, as you can see, it's a good size for that sort of 15mm. That's sort of drifted a bit there. Even the sort of bigger Ground Zero Games vehicle's going to sit on there quite neatly and look quite sort of chunky. And again, wheels-wise, the big truck has bigger wheels on there too. So what I haven't done is ask anybody if you can hear me, but I'm going to just do that. And I can hear myself, so that sounds good. Right, so yeah, I can be heard, great. And trying other things, I mean, things that won't fit in there. I mean, these big old beasts from Ground Zero Games, these, I can't remember what they're called, this Phalanx or something. But this sort of like mobile gun, very super large vehicle. I mean, there's very little this thing's going to fit on, to be fair. Look at the width of those wheels. It's nearly as wide as it is long. So things like that are obviously not suitable. But I've got here from Brigade Models a little skirted hover Jeep. Again, great sort of size for it, so ideal. Actually, I can feel myself wanting a couple of these and using them in a kind of parking lot or something. So great sort of blocking terrain, plus also nice to deploy vehicles off the back of it, which will be a bit of fun. So what I will do though is I'll just flip it on its side. It's all going to fall apart, but you can see some of the detail then on its side. And the last bit's going to go down. Yeah, so nice sort of fuel tank here, gas tank. Some sort of modern ribbing round there, which could mean that it's an interesting different propulsion engine or something. Good armour plating on the side too already, but you could like upgrade that again, couldn't you, with some extra grills and things on there. And really nice sharp wheels. I like a wheel that has that, I don't know the best way to describe it. Obviously it's rounded edge, but it's kind of like almost like a moon buggy bulge on the side of a wheel, and that's got that kind of look. So this older Ground Zero Games model here, you can see that it doesn't have that sort of bulge. The wheels are almost, you could say, Lego-like, can't you? The tyres on those wheels, but it's still a nice modern sci-fi looking wheel. But definitely 3D printing has allowed for the wheels to sort of be upgraded a bit these days. Yeah, so that's that. I say I do have these are 20mm. And also, Mark from Core did send me, I ordered some of the pedestrian vehicles too in 15mm, and they were used in a game recently and then have been packed away, unfortunately. But when I've got those back to hand again, I will bring them out. But this is the, bringing it down a bit if it fits on there. But you can see this is very large. I mean, you could get away for that with 15mm as a kind of armoured, futuristic, it's kind of almost Art Deco, Batman style type thing, isn't it? But that's realistically is more in your 20mm scale, I think. Well, at least it just looks perfect for your Car Wars or Gaslands type games. I mean, they would look slick. I love the front of this one here with the grille and just the sort of mean look. It looks like it's even got sort of teeth there, and the other one very similar, but with a different rear end. Yeah, so this one almost looks like a cabriolet style car. yeah, there's very little else different. There's lots of subtle differences between them, if I can actually get them into focus. Getting them into focus now. Yes. Yeah, there are some subtle differences between the tops there, you can see. Yeah, nice. And really solid resin as well. I mean, it's obviously different resin. I'm really, I've been into modelling for years, and this is where Mark's experience is from Core. Makes him an expert, but I don't know the difference between this resin, to be fair, and this one. All I know is this is kind of lightweight, almost feels like it's been 3D printed, very sharp and clean, and this is your more traditional solid sort of resin stuff. Obviously it's got some cleanup I need to do off the back of there too. Yeah, so nice. Which you can see it obviously has been printed at some point, so you can see it has its hollow centre, which has been sort of stuffed full of some kind of putty before it was made into a mould and cast up. Yeah. So very nice. There are various little fittings that go on here. I think I'm missing one of the weapon mounts to go on here, but I may find them in a box soon. And just, yeah, great little models. Just wanted to keep that short and sweet, really, to look out for these, especially for the 6mm coming as well. And just great in 15mm. And this is a centerpiece model, the Jeep, really. I mean, the truck with the flatbed. So hopefully that's nice and clear. In other news, I mean, just to sort of end this, oh yes, comparatively, it is a chunky big vehicle, but as you can see, with an armoured 15mm character alongside, it's, I mean, that's a good size to me. I mean, look, it is an armoured military vehicle, so it needs to be on the larger side. But if we did go down to a zoom in again down there, and I just line them up, I've got an old Crow Jeep here, with more of a sort of mini sports car, armoured car type thing, and you can see it's not comparative in terms of size because it's not the same kind of heavily laden Jeep. And then you've got something that's much more in keeping with it, the Brigade models. You can see it's almost sort of the same sort of hull size if it wasn't for the fact it had a different propulsion down there. It's quite a good match. This is obviously lower to the ground. And then you have another creamy piece of old resin from Old Crow. And you can see this is much larger. Obviously it's an APC with the big old chunky wheels on there as well. Oh, that's reminded me. I've just had something new. I knew I was something else. That's been, as usual, I've been spending, I have been streaming to YouTube, and I have spent essentially about an hour and a half trying to get YouTube to work. I mean, Facebook to work. And it's just a waste of time. It's interesting. Facebook has far more ready community audience for me. I have obviously a few viewers that come on, and I've got, often get maybe 4 or 5 viewers at once on YouTube, and then obviously lots of people that are very kindly come back and watch the videos live, watch the videos, post them going up live. But Facebook, you just get an instant set of maybe up to 20, 30 or so people watching, so it just feels a little bit more of a community. But unfortunately, technology is awful. YouTube, I can be live on it in 5 minutes of clicking a few buttons. Facebook, I have to keep trying to restream, and it just doesn't go onto the community screen. It's pretty poor. So these are Core as well, and again you can see bigger because it's not it's your APC size style. I really like that rounded front on this APC. It's fantastic. I'm not even sure if these ones are on the website, but I'm going to go over and have a look. Yes, they are. It's the Type 404. Page not found. Yeah, it's the Type 404 APC, and nice detailing on the back with the door, and obviously the 8-wheeled structure. Got a little bit of damage along the side in terms of, I haven't looked at these yet, it's just fresh out of the box, but a bit of a cast line I'd need to clean up along there. And the hull section is separate. It's obviously, it came like that together though. With the push-on wheels, which obviously you can glue on. If I put a few more wheels on while I'm looking at this. But yeah, there's something about this kind of heavily armoured sort of windowed front section, which I find kind of nicely futuristic. I don't know what it is about it, but it's great detail. And you can see these are kind of snap fit almost, they're wheels. And going together very nicely. Obviously I need to glue the things together, but a great looking piece of kit. Again, some nice hatch detailing there. You could use these as deployable drone doors. In fact, I had always had in mind to ask a company to make an APC with sort of drone placements that would sort of flip open, potentially even with like little fittings where you can see the drones half sticking out ready to sort of fly out. But that does the trick. And there is also a neat little top hatch that goes on too. I think that's the same hatch that goes on the, yes, it's the same fitting that would go on to the, and that's great to see that used across multiple vehicles as well. And again, benefit of 3D design, isn't it? You're just going to have, you just say, I want the hatch on that vehicle, pop it on another one, and it fits the same sort of styling. So it's slightly different on this APC though, but it's still a reasonably good, well, it's a solid fit, so it's obviously the same size. So that's that. Yeah, so that's the 404. And this is literally fresh in my hand, so I don't know what's in this packet. It could be another one of these. Oh, it's the, yeah, I was waiting for this one. It's the other one from the website. The Hawg, or the HAWG. And yeah, that has a, oh, that's popped off. That has the nice rear soft top, soft canopy, which is removable. Again, you could actually just not glue that. You could magnetize that or something. And I think the idea is, of course, is that you can either flip that off and have the open top, or you can put the weapon mount in there as well. There's a weapon mount in the pack. So I'll go down to the floor level there, so we can see the lineup. There we go. Maybe if I just come out just a tad, zoom out. Yeah. So yeah, we've got the big truck, and then there's the sort of Hog, and you can see similar styling with the lit up front, but a different hood and different front grille and everything as well, which looks really sharp on there. Wheels. Let's look at the wheels on this. Seeing as become a connoisseur of 15mm scale sci-fi wheels these days, yeah, they have the rounding that you get nicely with 3D printing, and again, great flush fit. Now this is a chunky little beast. This is nice. Yeah, that's a good fit and a good styling on there as well. I'll bring it in a bit closer, so you can get a look around. Yeah, lights at the front, lights down on the front grille. Obviously those neat pegs. And then, as I was highlighting before, if you bought a couple of these, you could do a sort of one with a soft top on the back, and then one with the deployed missile. So you get, how do these fit together? Oh, I see. So works it through. So when you do videos like this, you suddenly realise, oh blast, I needed to cut my nails. They had been growing, you know, when you just notice, oh, my nails are growing long. Then you do a video and go, oh my god, I look like I've got scarily long nails. So yeah, I'm not sure how you'd fit that in there. I guess maybe there's a plate. Yeah, there's a nice plate that fits on there. So you can see how fresh I'm building these, because I haven't got a clue how they go together until the last minute. Yeah. So I may have put those on upside down. Not 100% sure that they've gone on the right way up, but quickly checks the website. Yep, so this is the the Hog military multi-role transport. And yeah, I have built those correctly. And yeah, obviously you can have them at a twist on the back. And I think you just need to point them upwards a bit more. I've got them, obviously I've not glued them or checked them out, so yeah. Well, obviously with this kind of vehicle anyway, you'd potentially, it would be parking up in a position where it would make it possible to realign itself with wherever it's firing these. But nice, and again the little hatch that goes on the top. So size-wise, again, it's another chunky scale up. Well, not scale up, but size up from the normal Jeep. And they're calling it a Jeep, but it's got a name. Yeah, it's the RP01 Urban Military 4x4. Is this one. And then that's the Hog, which I haven't put all the wheels on yet, but there's the extra ones, which can be... I mean, again, you might want to leave these off and either magnetize them or have them ready to sort of flip, or you might want to do one as if it's been stowed away and one deployed. Actually, you can't see those. That's it. So what else is in the goodie box? Two more. I think it's just another APC. Oh, that's right. So on my first order to Mark, we had forgotten the little hatches, and he's now dropped them in kindly. So that's good stuff. I'll be able to sort of put those in there. I might also put some extra stowage and bits and pieces to detail those up when I airbrush them. So what else is in here? I think this is just another one of the 404 page not found APCs. So again, liking it. And last thing, I think it's just another Hog in there. So I could do one stowed and one... yeah, so I will be doing one of these. It's another one of these Hogs, and I'll do one with the canopy piece on the back, the soft top on the top, and one without with the weapon. Or I might put a couple of crew in there, and as you can see, it's a reasonable size for your average 15mm model, which has just gone flying. Bert has taken a jump. So yeah, it's a good size, nice fit. Again, you could take 15mm models from GZG or any other brand and put any other kind of weapon mount in there as well, and use the is that what you call a cupola? That section there, you could put another weapon in there too. Great detailing on the side. Let's zoom in properly again. Yeah, fantastic level of detail. As I think I mentioned before, you could make this look a bit more post-apocalyptic and add extra armor, rusting and chipping on there, which would certainly increase its sort of worn-out post-apocalyptic credentials, or keep it nice and neat with an army kind of cleaner colour scheme, depending on its usage. Obviously, you could go for different camos on there. So that's the 15mm range. If I just quickly flip back to the, if I can get there. No, I'm on the wrong screen. Wrong button. This will be better. That's it. So flipping back to the website, you can see that's the sort of extent of the military vehicles on that list. These are the ones that I picked up, the Mini, the modern and the older vehicles. I'm sorry to say I've put them in a box and they're not to hand at the moment because I used them in a game in a car park scene and they've been popped away. So I will get those out for a sort of show and tell soon. And then this aircraft models are coming soon. So I've seen some clips from Mark on Facebook of this sort of VTOL with the twin rotors, which looks sharp as well. Yep, so coming back out. that's the lot there. And thanks very much for listening in. I'm going to sign out. It's just a kind of short and sweet one. In fact, I've got various things to review. I've got miniatures from about 4 different companies that I've bought recently, and they've been delivered, and I've just got to work through some quick reviews on them to sort of show what they look like, and appreciate the patience of some of them that sent them quite a while ago, and I've still got them ready to show off. But yeah, I've had a lot on. I'm doing the, oh, that's it. I'm still working on the 15mm SCIFI building, which I've been spraying up. And this guy's now had a couple of sets of paint sprayed on, if I can get it to stay in focus. So it's looking kind of rugged now, although I haven't finished the airbrushing on it. One thing that I've got coming up with these is I've got, not for this one in particular, but I've made a set of templates now to just pop over when I'm airbrushing the doors and windows like that, so that I won't spray up the rest of the model. Just sort of a handy little tip really, to use these plastic card pieces cut to shape, and then I can just sort of hold them on and airbrush, and then I know I'm going to be airbrushing up the doorway there, and not the rest of the neat building that's already been done. So I want these windows to be sort of blackened out in there. It stays in focus for a second at least, and then it goes. Okay, never mind. It's not going to do that change now. Well, that's got to put it on manual now. It's not going to go anywhere. So I'm having a technology moment, focusing while you're watching. But yeah, those windows, again, I've got a template. Pop that over the front, airbrush in there, and that'll black them out neatly. And then obviously I'm going to trim up along the bottom as well to clean up the edge. And this is going to get a kind of a grey industrial look with some weathering and oil stains and things on it as well. Yeah, so that's sort of coming on slowly. Yeah, Salute this week knocked me out really. But firstly, it knackered me because I was there all day, and then doing some filming and things and footage for YouTube afterwards, and then followed by just general tiredness from the whole event really. So I've stalled on a couple of projects, but I am motoring on. Right, so thanks for listening in. I will sort of sign off by doing that, and there I am. Okay, cheers. So thanks for listening in, and I've got a session planned for tomorrow night, hopefully. That's if I'm not going to see Hellboy. I might be going to see Hellboy on, well, no, that's Friday night. So yeah, I've got a session planned for Thursday night. I might do a bit on the 15mm building, and appreciate anybody watching. Thanks for signing in. I'll now find where the button is to turn it off, which takes a little while, but cheers.